Hi, I'm Dave Rastovich, and this is my first hand.
Well, mommy, what's wrong with me? She said I'm not like the other kids, can't you see? Well, tell you that I won't be bad, but I'll never be no college
My Earth name is David Matty Rastovich. I am 27 years of age, born 31st of December 1979 in New Zealand, and I have no rank. So in Oz, that whole surf club culture is called clubbies, and you wear, budgie smugglers, banana hammocks, whatever you want to call them. All about function, not fashion. They don't look any good. It's just function. You'd have this little beanie hat thing and like a swimming cap kind of thing. And it was all about speed, less drag, all that kind of thing. So anyway, we looked like idiots, but we went faster than most people when it came to swimming and body surfing. When I was on the Gold Coast doing the clubby thing, I was on the northern end of the Goldie, and the northern end of the Goldie is mainly beach breaks, and the first point break, the real waves kind of thing, is Burleigh. And then now when I go back there these days, it's changed. It's like everything changes, but for some reason the sands changed there, and everybody who lives there says the same thing. And it's almost like there's too much sand there nowadays. Who knows what it is? All the buildings along the coast, something's happened, and so it's changed. Probably one of the reasons why I don't live there anymore. Not too far from the famous Byron Bay, the easternmost point of Australia, first light country. It's what a lot of people call it as well. It's a really great spot to be near, but not in all the time. It's a real transient zone. Lots of tourists come through. Lots of great musicians. All the amenities of a cool little cultural town. Naturally, I kind of felt the vibe, I guess, to not live there, but near there.
We really notice all the little details, and I think that's a lot of what we share with each other that makes us feel connected. As Dave's often said to me that, being part of the surfing tour and everything, that he often felt like a bit of an outsider because a lot of people were kind of just very focused on the competition and what was happening, and he would be off kind of looking at the patterns in the sand, and there was no one really to share that appreciation of nature with.
Health Farm is the alternate name for my home. A health farm is the name that visitors have coined for Hannah and my house, where we re-educate and reform sick, twisted surfing people. Well, what I consume on a daily basis is an ultra-healthy green banana smoothie, fruit smoothie thing with lots of weird and wonderful additives. Strawberry papaya, red papaya, bit of melon, honeydew melon, macadamia nuts, spirulina, hemp seed mead. Doesn't have any of the properties that make you trip out or anything like that. I don't smoke weed, I just eat the seeds. This one's psyllium husk. So this is like, cleanses your guts. Silica, colloidal mineral silica. It's like eating liquid crystals. and then rice milk. Get the dregs. Oh! Kind of thick, like me. Thick, brah. Like I want to be, that's why I eat all this shit, so I can try and put some weight on my skinny ass. Pretty good. The spots that I surf on the east coast of Australia that are really magical little spots that are like nowhere else in the world. To be out there early in the morning for hours, from there on in the sun, getting fried and just stoking.
And technology extract. First I saw becomes a desert wasteland. I couldn't be so worthless that I live in style with a philosophy that we should all one day join hands. Today you might say it's okay, but we both know you're just running away, running away, running away. You can't test the champion sound, 'cause the soundboard's too nice for you. Like to see us share your justice, but what are we prepared to do? We all know money alone won't see us through. Like to see us sharing justice.
Oh, no way! This is Dave Rastovich. I have been violated. This is first-hand. My first-hand break and enter. I'm Dave Rastovich, and this is First Hand. I pretty much only come up here, only come up to Snapper and the Goldie every time it's pumping or I got things I have to do on the Gold Coast. I could slip a little surf in before or after doing logistical things. These little waves are perfect for Moby Dick, the white whale. That 9-foot Moby Dick fish is just an extension of the things I felt in small fishes, and I kind of considered could be translated into a longer board that, you know, just cruised on a nice little point wave. When I was around 15 years of age, I hooked up with Dick Van Stralen. He was an older shaper from the Burleigh area from way back in the 60s. He's a pretty experimental, fun cat to mess around with when it comes to designing boards and anything really. But over the years, it's been like 10 or 12 years since we've been hanging out, designing boards and bouncing off of each other. And it's really just a fun trip. It's like going somewhere with someone and it's just fun the whole way. It's been really enjoyable.
Everything that he does is from the heart. right? And people look at it and they believe it because he's talking from the heart. There's no to it. There's no, you know, it's true. What he's talking about, he believes in.
One thing I like to feel about that experience with Dick Van is that it's never serious, it's sincere. We're not, you know, bound by the gravity of the situation or anything, or, oh, this is dire, this is very important stuff here, we're reinventing surfboards or anything like that. It's just sincere fun, you know, sincere play. We care about it, but we're not, you know, bound with seriousness.
We did this board for him called the Dolphin, right? And he surfs on it for about a month and it goes unbelievable. And then Jim Bank picks it up and looks at it and goes, do you know one of these fins is on the other way? And we go, and both fins are pointing like this. And it goes unbelievable, right? And I said to Dave, what's that say?
Since I was like 15, I've always had boards that are a little different than the average person's, purely because that's what I enjoy. Just deviating from the norm a little bit, or just opening up to more possibilities, was actually a really enjoyable experience and fruitful.
At least 18 people are dead following the earthquake and tsunami in the Solomon Islands. There's been 2 big aftershocks overnight and it's feared the death toll will rise.
First hand's getting it second hand now, and that is the Bureau of Meteorology and everyone else in this region issued a tsunami warning about 3 hours ago for a 7-metre tsunami to hit our coastline. And we live in a very low-lying, swampy area that just will get nailed by a tsunami. So I grabbed all my essentials, and if you can see here, it consists of musical instruments and surfboards. And that's it. I grabbed my wife and my passport as well. A couple years ago, through my tapping on different drums and things, I got to hook up with a bunch of pretty amazing musicians, actually, from our area. All young crew, my age, who are professional musicians and who also surf. So we'd surf and hang out, and we came up with the concept of filling up a house with surfboards, instruments, recording equipment, a couple cameras and projection screens and whatnot, and decided to stay there with each other for 2 weeks and just surf, jam, sleep, surf, jam, sleep, whatever, have fun, see what happened. And when we got back, the music was insane, and the footage was really cool, really quirky stuff, really cool interviews with everyone. And so I just was looking at it going, well, I've got to make this into a film. And the boys who are all professional musos, like, we got to make this into an album. I've never been a computer person, but for a year and a half there, I was a complete square-eyed nerd, editing footage and doing all that kind of thing. But in the end, we made this really neat experience, this real neat documentation of what we experienced in 2 weeks of just purely jamming, improvised living. Part of the footage that George Greeno wanted us to make music for was his In the Tube footage from the 70s. And he was always telling me, oh man, you guys should be shooting some of that stuff these days, you know, video cameras and everything. It's just too easy for you guys. And so anyway, I listened to him, and I went out and got a little camera, rigged up a head mount and a little backpack, and just started surfing with it when the days were pretty good at home, you know, when there were some hollow days at home. And so the fact that we'd made this music whilst watching in the tube footage from George on a projection screen in a house on the beach after surfing all day gave the music a real feeling and texture and real close connection to that actual visual medium, whatever, the visual picture of in the tube footage. So I was really inspired to then go shoot my own stuff and put it to that music, which is what we ended up doing. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more firsthand. Hi, I'm Dave Rastovich, and this is my firsthand. One of the most important things to me at this point in time is an issue regarding cetaceans, dolphin, whale, porpoise family, and that in some parts of the world they're being exterminated, taken down to the level of, you know, very endangered species in certain places. And the fact that I've grown up surfing with dolphins consistently and seeing whales when they come past on their migration has given me a really close connection to these guys. And so anyway, this concept of a visual petition came out where basically the idea is taking portraits of everyone in our surfing world, the global surfing community, starting with the most influential surfers and musicians of the surfing culture, then getting the momentum rolling with the greater surfing community and building this huge petition up. So it was really amazing timing that all those musicians who are so influential and such a part of our surfing community around the world were coming to, you know, my local area. And I got to hook up and shoot some portraits there and all the stoked people at the festival and everything. And then at the same time, at the very same time, all the surfing world's, you know, competitive elite were down at Bells Beach. So we got to zoom down there and do the same thing with them, shoot everyone's portraits to go into this big visual petition.
I think surf community itself, generally just being ocean people and being in the water is you know, a huge support for sea life, especially for whales and dolphins, because we see them more than anyone probably.
It's really easy to, when somebody does something, to want to fight them, and it's really hard to see the humanity in that person still, and be able to do something that actually makes them aware. Like the only way to change that is for your actions to do something that creates awareness for them that they're doing the wrong thing, as opposed to just telling them they're wrong.
You know, that is huge. That's, you know, that's really saying something for the surfing community, that the king of the sport, the king of the competitive aspect of surfing is, you know, so outraged by this mass slaughter. After we finished our Bell stuff and everything, I was hanging out with Ash Grunwald down at his place at Bells Beach, and just so happened one of the guys we were hanging out with had a surfboard that was made for his mum in the very early 60s. And the guy was like, oh, you know, I haven't ridden this and no one's ridden this for 27 years and I'm 27, so I was like, oh, that's pretty quirky. Oh, can I take it out and take it for a spin? And he was just shocked. He was thinking, God, you know, I didn't think anyone would ever want to ride something like this, you know, these days.
Rasta is like, for me, like a really great, you know, he's the ultimate surfer because he's a great surfer who's prepared to ride weird and different boards and come up with different solutions to the, I don't know, the question of surfing, you know. And that's really interesting, you know, and you don't see, I don't think, enough of that.
I remember going along down the line, doing a little bit of snap here, a little tail slide thingy, and you know, little re-entries off the foam and stuff, and it was just fun. Just, you know, dicking around, just having a bit of fun with it. It's pretty action-packed, actually, I think. I really enjoy downtime. I really enjoy time of nothingness, you know, very still moments I enjoy a lot. You know, sitting there watching the sun in the afternoon come through the trees at my house, or a little tap on a music instrument, or just going down to the beach to watch the water, or just simple stuff I really enjoy. But then there's other times where it's like everything happens at once, and there's music festivals and surfing events and, you know, relic surfboards to ride and petitions to create and all kinds of things going on that just kind of present themselves and take you for a ride. So it's neat to just say yes to those moments and just roll with it and go hard for a little while. But then at the end, to be able to just put all that stuff aside and just stop and chill is really important to me and is really neat.